Alright, we live on the living color again in the morning. You know, it's a brother Bolo for you now in our space. People. Pleasant good day, pleasant good day, pleasant good day. Come on in. Please remember to follow me on all platforms. Bolo VNR, Bolo VNR 2.0, Bolo VNR Clips, and Bolo TBV. We're at 660 or 670 on Bolo TBV. I want to thank you guys for your continued support. You understand? We have some important news, ladies and gentlemen. This is important news, in my estimate. You know, the People's National Party recently had some issue with the mayor of Kingston. Yes. And we have a verdict. You understand? So I'm not going to really waste any time. We're going to get through the information as it regards to that situation. Now, I'm going to go back and then go forward, because there's an article on Nationwide that stood out to me, right? This article right here on May 15th, it says, request to explain removal of PNP posters lacks legal merit. How laughable is that now? How laughable is that tagline now?
That is funny, honey.
Let's really talk about it.
That's funny.
Huh?
Oh my God, that is funny.
Request to explain removal of PNP posters lacks legal merit. Vernon attorneys said that are the mayor of Kingston, right? The present mayor of Kingston. The legal battle over the removal of People's National Party PNP political signs in St. James is heating up. Lawyer for Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, are pushing back against a request from the political ombudsman to explain the removal of opposition campaign posters in the parish. They are questioning the legal grounds on which he's been asked to explain his decision. So they were questioning the legal grounds. Hey, when you say them people either operate against the law or them simply don't know the law. Wagwan Kimon. One more win for PNP, man. I don't want to like up a video, go and share up a video, see? Right? One more win for the PNP. It says here, Sharon Campbell tells us. Alright. Now for the people in Panam. What you call it now? Bolo TBV. Right now, me can't left for no Bolo VNR 2.0. Can't left for no.
Bluetooth mode.
It would not be right of me to leave it, is it? Alright, there we go. So now make we hear where them have to say here, so from this previous article.
Smith, acting on behalf of Mayor Richard Vernon and the St. James Municipal Corporation, the political ombudsman's request for an explanation about the removal of PNP campaign posters lacks legal merit. This was outlined in a letter dated May 5. In it, the firm refers to a previous correspondence dated April 25, which asked Mayor Vernon to explain his role in the removal of the posters. It's a move the opposition says breaches the political code of conduct. However, the mayor's legal team argues that the corporation was simply carrying out its statutory duties under long-standing town and country planning regulations, which predate political conduct laws by decades. They say the regulations are not unclear or ambiguous as to the obligations of the municipal corporation, nor are the other relevant laws under which the corporation has jurisdiction. The letter says the corporation is neither a political party nor a person, and the mayor, who is also the chairman of the corporation, performs his duties as such. The firm also raised concerns about media reports on the issue, claiming Mayor Vernon first learnt of the letter through the press before receiving it in a sealed envelope. He's asked the Office of the Political Ombudsman to confirm whether it disclosed the matter to the media and what steps are in place to protect confidentiality. Three prospective PNP candidates, Dr. Andre Horton, Senator Janice Allen, and Alan Bernard, have taken the matter to the Supreme Court, accusing the municipal corporation of political victimization. They're seeking to represent West Central, Central, and Northwest St. James. They argue the removal of their posters was unlawful and are calling for the signs to be restored. Siobhan Campbell, for Nationwide News.
Right, so you hear that? See? You hear that? You hear them boastful and that go on? Right? According to the law firm, on behalf of Mayor blah 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 blah, this was outlined in the letter. That them just read. Alright, so that's what them say. See? Now, ladies and gentlemen, fast forward to the letter now. Fast forward to now. To the June 9th. PNP caretaker wins injunction blocking removal of campaign signs in St. James. Come on, man. Yeah, man. I'm too enough. Anyway, make you read the article here. See? The legal battle over the removal of campaign signs by St. James Municipal Corporation is escalating. 3 PNP caretakers in the parish have been granted permission to seek judicial review of decision. They've also been granted an injunction by the Supreme Court against further action by the corporation to have their campaign materials removed. What does that mean? Them can't remove no more of the material. Them have to leave it up. And can you imagine? We are less than 100 days away from an election. One that has to happen. And if it's not 100 days, it is less than December 15th of the last day legally, where the election has to be called. The last day, it has to be December 15th. You hear what I said? Election have to happen this year. So this look, what you call it now? Thai soldier, right? This look Thai soldier me where Andrew Holness put battery in him back, right? And the Jamaica Lawless party put battery in him back. Gone trouble the people them sign on a mobile. Because him not have a chance to win on a mobile, you know. Tell him say, me say God say so. Him not have a chance for winning a mobile. You hear me say a while ago? Tell him say, me say God say so. Right? Rat infestation on a mobile and beer thing, people can't access speech. Well, it be a problem there mobile when for fix. And them come run on PNP poster. So you bothered? That for sure you say you can't win. Right? Big up yourself, Richard. Anyway, make we listen this. Make we listen that's up there. So them can't take down no more PNP poster. Injunction in them blouse and skirt. And when it go to the judicial review, them are gonna get charged. Them are gonna pay them money, pay back money. The same KSMC have got pay back them money. No KSMC, sorry, my bad. The same municipal corporation have got pay back the JLP member them money. The PNP member them money for them flyers or them take down illegally. Them posters. Mark my words. But anyway, make we listen to this.
Triggered by the St. James Municipal Corporation's decision, under the leadership of Mayor of Montego Bay Richard Vernon, to take down multiple PNP campaign posters on April 5, 2025. This action was later formalized through a motion at the corporation's Finance Committee meeting on April 9, 2025, which purported to authorize the removal of the PNP materials across the parish. The claim was filed on behalf of the PNP prospective candidates for West Central St. James, Dr. Andre Horton, Central St. James, Janice Allen, and Northwest St. James, Alan Bernard. The St. James Municipal Corporation was listed as the sole respondent. Dr. Horton is seeking to unseat Marlene Malahoo Fort, while Allen is mounting a challenge to Heroy Clark, and Bernard is seeking to take down JLP veteran Dr. Horace Chang. The PNP lost all 3 seats by more than 1,000 votes in the last general election. The PNP caretakers applied for judicial review of the decision by the corporation, to order the removal of their political billboards that had been erected in and around the town. They also sought an order quashing the decision of the corporation to remove the billboards on and around April 5, 2025. They've also called for a judicial review of the motion passed by the corporation on and around April 9, 2025, in the Finance Committee meeting which prohibited the display of advertisements for parliamentary candidates in the pending general election. The PNP candidate similarly applied for an order barring any officers, servants, or agents of the St. James Municipal Corporation from removing or interfering with their political advertisements. Finally, they requested an order compelling the respondents, its officers, servants, or agents to return, restore, or reinstate the applicant's political advertisements or signage that they removed or caused to be removed from, in, and around the municipal district of St. James. Having been granted leave to seek judicial review, the PNP members say they intend to seek a declaration that the respondent acted ultra vires, unlawfully, and in breach of procedural fairness. The PNP is represented by Attorney-at-Law Maurice McCarty. The St. James Municipal Corporation is represented by the law firm Bennett Cooper Smith. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
You hear that? Wagwan Nora. We don't want and care from them. What? Ryan Campbell Wagwan. Patrick, big up yourself, my general, every time. See? Alright. So, wanna hear that? Wanna see what I go on this up? Now we are going to the statement. As a matter of fact, let me read this. As granted injunction blocking the PNP Municipal Corporation from moving election campaigns belonging to opposition. Alright. The court also gave three prospective candidates, Dr. Andre Horton, Janice Allen, and Alan Bernard, permission to pursue judicial review of the corporation's decision. Attorney Maurice McCurdy, who represented the candidate said, while the court granted corporation permission to appeal, it refused a request to put the judgment on hold while the appeal is being considered. What? The St. James Municipal Corporation, if they remove any further posters of the applicants, it can be held in contempt of court. Oh! So if they remove, it says here, the St. James Municipal Corporation, if they remove any further posters of applicants, it can be held in contempt of court, McCurdy said. The ruling was handed down on Monday by senior, Mums. If the ruling was handed down on Monday by such and such. Alright, judicial review allows what is that? Judicial review allows the court to determine whether the processes used by the public authority in arriving at a decision were fair and unlawful. So the judicial review allows the court to determine whether the processes used by the public authority in arriving at decision were fair and lawful. I cannot wait for the judicial review. I cannot wait for the judicial review. Who else can wait? I can't wait. Me giddy right now for this because the only thing is that court kind of dragged out and take a while, especially Supreme Court. No, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. You understand? No joke about that. Anyway, let me see how it go. It says here, Horton, Allen, and Bernard filed the court action against the corporation April 29th. The corporation is represented by law firm Bennett Cooper. The dispute erupted after Richard Vernon, who is the mayor of Montego Bay, we already know that. The PNP candidates protested the decision and said it's a breach of their rights. Blah, blah, blah. The Election Commission of Jamaica, acting in its role as the political ombudsman, wrote to Vernon on April 25th requesting a written explanation and the legal authority under which the signs were removed. And remember me telling you, right? It also noted that the general election is due by September. The request was backed by a letter from Electoral Commission Chairman Earl Jarrett, whose office assumed the political ombudsman role in 2024. But in a response dated May 14, Vernon attorney Rose Bennett Cooper rejected the request, saying he could not determine the legal basis on which the ombudsman had sought. And you hear them something here? The audacity, listen to me. Them people need to come down. You hear me? I'm telling you. Anyway, I can read this. See? Attorney, legal, victor for the PNP. Another legal victory for the PNP as court slams unlawful takedown on PNP billboards in St. James. Kingston, Jamaica, June 9th. The People's National Party has secured another significant legal victory as the Supreme Court ruled in favor of 3 of its parliamentarian candidates, Dr. Andre Horton, Senator Janice Allen, and Alan Bernard, following the unlawful removal of their campaign billboards by the St. James Municipal Corporation. The case was triggered by the corporation's decision under the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party's mayor, Councillor Richard Vernon, to take down multiple PNP campaign corporation finance committee meeting. No, my bad. This action was later formalized through a motion at the corporation's finance committee meeting April 9th, which purported to authorize the removal of the PNP campaign material across the parish. In response, the PNP candidates filed that, yes, in a decisive ruling, the court granted both the leave for judicial review and the injunction, effectively halting the corporation's actions and affirming the candidate constitutional rights. Come on, man. Guys, you get to understand what is actually going on with this. So it's a decisive ruling. The PNP is very happy about it because 2 things happen, right? The leave for judicial review and the injunction is halting, so the corporation cannot take down any more boats. If they do, they will be in contempt of court, right? And that affirms their constitutional right. So the Constitution wins again. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to study the Constitution and understand its value. You know, Isaac Buchanan always champions the Constitution. You know, he holds it to high regard. And I'm sure you guys already know. If you don't know, well, you know, hey, you need to study that man because he talks about it so much. The Constitution. He talks about the Constitution and all that. Anyway, it says the latest courtroom success marks yet another legal win for the PNP in its ongoing defense of democracy and fairness. Yes. In Jamaica, not only in electoral arenas, right, but across multiple instances where the law has been used to check political overreach. Basically, the JLP, the Jamaica Lawless Party, has constantly used the law, abused the law. They have abused their political power and gone against the law. In essence, that's why I call them the Jamaica Lawless Party. They have a history of this. They have been doing it a lot. I think it's probably the 8th time they have gone to court and they are in error. It's around the 8th time, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it says here that the ruling upholds the principles of fairness, freedom of expression, and the rule of law, said Senator Donna Scott Motley. Big up Miss Motley, PNP spokesperson on justice. The People's National Party will continue to challenge the abuse of state power wherever it appears. This is why the PNP and the JLP is not the same. Alright? This is why the PNP and the JLP is not the same. One of them abused state power. SOEs. You remember the SOEs, ladies and gentlemen? Do you guys remember that the Jamaica Labour Party was upset that the SOEs they lost that in the Supreme Court? They actually blamed the PNP. The Prime Minister Andrew Owens blamed the PNP in his budget speech that they were not standing with them in helping to progress the country to take down the levels of crime. So they have made it clear that they are willing to break the law, they are willing to break the constitution just to get political points. Them actually working back ways, you know. For the intelligent people, them working back ways. For the people that have common sense and can listen to reason, they are working back ways. Because it's not what you do, it's how you do it, you know. You understand? Oh, so you can say, you know, let me use this as an example. I made a lot of money today. How did you make it? Did you sell kids drugs to get the money? See, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You cannot rejoice about that money being a righteous person. Right? You cannot rejoice about money that's blood money, drug money. You can't rejoice about that. Right? It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So this government, the Jamaica Lawless Party, has clearly shown us who they are. And this is why I want you guys to remember these moments and understand we not the same. They not like us. You understand what I'm saying? They are not like us, ladies and gentlemen. They are not. They are willing to break the law, right? And when they break the law, you know, they don't go to prison, you know. You know what they do? Sue the government, right? Put them friend in the FID, right? That's what they do, right? When they are to be held accountable for things or possible things that they may have, they might have done wrong. When they are to be held accountable for their statutory declaration, you see how they do. They attack the Integrity Commission, but the Integrity Commission keep winning and winning and winning. I can't wait for October. Mighty God. You think the election me can't wait for? Me can't wait for October when they got court after election. Cannot wait. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. The People's National Party will continue to challenge the abuse of state power, where it appears no public authority has the right to suppress legitimate political participation. No Jamaican should fear political victimization. The PNP commends Dr. Horton, Senator Allen, and Mr. Bernard for defending their rights and applauds the party's legal team for once again securing justice. The party affirms the commitment to standing against all forms of political intimidation and ensuring that Jamaicans can participate in free, fair, and transparent elections. For more information, contact PNP Media Unit, telephone number 876-408-3160. If you don't want to know more about that situation, right? By the way, Twitter. You know, I like to check up on the Integrity Commission from time to time. You know. I am, like I said, I'm very eager to hear what's going on with them, you know. Quite eager. Guys, remember tomorrow, sectorial debate, championing change in local government and tourism and sports. The lovely Mrs. Natalie Nita Garvey, MP, Shadow Minister, right? Yes? So, that is what? What time is that tomorrow? 2 p.m.? Yeah, good. Just remember that. See? I might just stream that, you know. You never know. Look out for it. Twitter, yes. The Integrity Commission. Integrity Commission. When was this? June 3rd? June 3rd? Oh, that was the last case. Oh yeah, I read that already. Yeah, I read that already. They won the case against the lady. Yes, the Warlock lady. That's her name, I believe. Warlock. You know what? I don't want nobody feel like me on violate. Let me see. Hold on, give me a second, guys. I don't want nobody feel like me on violate. Lord have mercy. So why the picture not come up? Come on, man. Thank you. Let me see. Oh, Warlock. Warlock is the name, not Warlock. My bad, y'all. I knew something was off about what I was saying. Anyway, moving right along. So the PNP has won another The PNP has won yet another court case, ladies and gentlemen, against the Jamaica Lawless party. And yes, I don't know if anybody want to call in, but you guys can certainly call in so I can. Oh, somebody had called me, Somebody had called me and said that they wanted me to interview them. I don't even know what about. If I tell you what this person want me to interview them about, I have no. And then somebody else called me and said that them have some type of information about something and they want to speak online while I'm live. Well, on the people, make me make them people I know some alive. Yeah, let me make that person I know some alive. Anyway, we'll move on to the next topic. See? We'll move on to the next topic. Me and Dr. Dayton Campbell Bolo on fire last night. Blessed! Hey! Boy, the one doctor. Me and Dr. Dayton Campbell on fire last night. You hear this, ladies and gentlemen? You hear this? One Dr. Dayton. I want to make sure you like up every video, man. Listen to me. People, this channel is getting a fight. The people in my work some spiritual wickedness in high places. You hear me? I tell you no. My videos cannot me can barely get 100 people in our 17,000 subscriber channel. No matter what time I go live. You hear me? We cannot get. I mean, I have 167 person in my WhatsApp group. As a matter of fact, almost 200 person. May have more than that from a broadcast list, and I cannot get. No matter when I go live, no matter if nobody in a live, I cannot get over 100 people in my chat consecutively. So you see, want to know over here and all listen to me? I am asking you, all of my real day one supporters, I need your engagement in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just make night but a talk and I tell you good evening and share the live and them something. I need you guys to be engaged in the chat. Yes? Especially if you're not at work and you can be engaged. Fair enough? You don't have to donate like that free. Big up yourself, Floyd Shaw. Please. And I mean, we have 97 people here. And it's like, oh my mother grow me. When I come to somebody else, I tell them good evening. I tell them good morning. It's that simple. Like that one basic thing. You feel what I deal with? I understand that some people like, and then there's a like button or a heart right there, so where you can press up like TikTok. You know what I mean? Ian, you was good evening. Hi TikTok. I don't know. Something alright. Something ain't right. Well, I don't know, man. Anyway, come like I mostly we call it labor writer watch me show. Come like I mostly labor writer watch me show. Come like no come right there. When me live most of the time. I swear, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, bro. Somebody say happy birthday to Bolo's mom. Yeah. Oh Lord. Velma say happy birthday. Velma Elatino. I want if people say their birthday wishes. My mother says she does have a happy birthday and she thanks everybody for the birthday wishes. And Miss Collins, big up yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Make way with Dr. Dayton Campbell have to say,
Robert, I want to recognize especially your member of parliament in waiting, a comrade in whom I'm well pleased and anxious to see her in the parliament represented for the people of Northeast St. Elizabeth. I want to recognize your counselor, Youngster for Life, my brother and my friend. And Youngster represents what can be considered as the heart of the People's National Party. Grace River. In good times, in bad times, Grace River stands with the People's National Party. Listen you to the people of the Grace River people. All of the other comments on the platform, comments in the audience, greetings. You don't know me already. Now when me come I'm talking to all me see. And I don't care what the laborites want to do or say, I talk it how I see. And I realize that the laborites are trying to run an election based on where people come from. I'm talking about people, bad mind and all of them something. How can you be in government for 2 terms consecutively, 10 years, and when we get to a campaign, your argument is based on where somebody come from and I talk about who bad mind and who this and who that. If you were a government doing any work, you would be campaigning on what you have done for the people. It shouldn't matter where it just come from because your work should be speaking for you. But because they have not done the work, now they only want to talk about houses. I refuse to allow Lawless and the bag of done to him of a run up back him say AP. Now hold on. When you say them done, they get vexed, you know. And you can look out for your refuse tomorrow morning, one with it say, oh, me call them dunce. But dunce is a word that is in dictionary, you know. And there is a definition for it. And if people's behavior match the definition, then you can use the word to describe it.
That is funny, honey. That's funny. Oh my God, that is funny.
Lawless and the bag of done to him of a run up back him say AP. Now hold on. When you say them done, they get vexed, you know. And you can look out for your refuse tomorrow morning, one with it say, oh, me call them dunce. But dunce is a word that is in dictionary, you know. And there is a definition for it. And if people's behavior match the definition, then you can use the word to describe them. The who come from here, so who come from there, so he, she, and the old lady. That's not what we're doing.
Come sit with us. Come sing with us.
Half of the children in Jamaica that are going to school hungry. And we know, so empty plastic bag can't stand up. People can't learn when they're hungry. And so we have said that under the next PNP government, every needy child in school will get one warm, nutritious meal per day, free of charge, courtesy of the People's National Party. We understand what poor people pick me up through. When I was going to school, I used to buy sugar bun and big Joe box drink and what they could afford. And after lunch, when you go in a class and be a yarn, when teacher reach a blackboard, you know you want thing, because sugar settle down in a yard, you want to sleep. We are going to cut that out, and we are going to ensure that the children get a warm, nutritious meal. None of the ingredients to provide that will come from anywhere else. We are going to ask the teachers, the schools to plan out what the meal options are. And when they tell us what they need, we are going to come to you, the farmers, and we are going to say to you, go there and produce the Irish, produce the pumpkin, produce the callaloo, and that is what is going to feed our children. We have projected that we will spend an additional $9 billion on the school feeding program, and we are going to spend that money with the local farmers, especially our farmers in the parish of St. Elizabeth. Another part of the reason why the children are not doing well is that some of them don't have the fear to go to school. And so the next PNP government is going to identify 20,000 needy students, and they will get $500 per day towards transportation so that they can go to school. We want your children to become better than you and get better opportunities than you. We want your children to can make life in Jamaica and not to run with our foreign in order to make life. We want when you go there and work hard, you can see what you're working for. You don't feel like you're at work, but you still have suffer. When our children go there and they work hard and qualify to go to university, the government will ensure that the first child in every family that qualifies to go to university will get a full scholarship from the People's National Party so they can go to university and better themselves. From in the 70s, Michael Joshua Manley said free education because this is the party that believes in education as a vaccine against poverty, as a vehicle for upward mobility in our society. So we now run the election about bad mind and where people come from. We are running the election based on what we are going to do to benefit the people of this country. I am tired of people getting up and putting on them clothes to come a politics meeting, and somebody look out and say, look by him and she run back a politics and don't live the way. We have to cut out that and make sure that we put housing in place for people in the society. Time come now for our people to have better access to housing opportunity. Yeah, them go around every day and run up on no new taxes. This government, JP government, takes $11.4 billion out of the NHT every single year to put it into the country's budget. The next PNP government is going to cut that out. And when we cut that out, we are going to leave that money in the NHT, and we are taking one out of the 11 and we are putting it in a deposit fund that every youngster below the age of 35 who want to buy a house, but you don't have the deposit, the next PNP government is going to give you $500,000 as a grant, not a loan, as a grant towards your deposit so you can purchase a house for yourself. I am tired of young people who go here and live with mama and papa and granny. I come now the young people of them want to kill it, grant. And when we cut that out, we are going to leave that money in the NHT, and we are taking one out of the 11 and we are putting it in a deposit fund that every youngster below the age of 35 who want to buy a house, but you don't have the deposit, the next PNP government is going to give you $500,000 as a grant, not a loan, as a grant towards your deposit, so you can purchase a house for yourself. I am tired of young people who go here and appear and live with mama and papa and granny. Time come now for young people and them want a key, for them want a yard. PNP is going to ensure that we have housing for young people. We are going to build 50,000 low-income houses in our first term in office. 50,000. Those houses, none of them will pass $10 million. None of them. What this government is doing now, selling NHD house for $30 million. Michael Manley are turning our grave to your wicked and you Lawless and when I mash up the National Housing Trust. All constituencies, including Northeast St. Elizabeth. The candidates have been asked, identify the suitable piece of land because every constituency will get at least 500 of those low-income houses built within that constituency. And when we build those houses, if the house comes to $10 million, and the land part of it is $2.5 million under the next PNP government. Any housing scheme that is built or sponsored by the NHD, the people will not pay for the land portion of the price in the house. You will get the land portion for free. They ask, how can we do that? We can do it because we are not taking out the $11.4 billion to put into the country budget. We are leaving it with the NHC. You have made the sacrifice for the last 12 years, and so you won't pay for the land portion of any development that we do. So Dwayne, you're right. When the PNP turned government, and Mark Golden is going out there, Mark Golden won't be putting up ribbon to open one dege house. We are going to open housing scheme in Grace River, housing scheme in Balaclava, housing scheme in Silo, housing scheme in Santa Cruz. And at no time will you see Mark Golden with a sledgehammer and come lick down poor people's house and run them off a land and Labour government do that. We have in our society, remember now, when Michael designed the National Housing Trust, I want you to follow me here. The Housing Trust was designed for the low-income contributors. He was trying to ensure that poor people can have a roof above their heads. He was trying to ensure that poor people can have a roof above their head. We have currently in our society people that are farmers, people that are barbers, people that are hairdressers, people that are selling in a shop. Them are cook. We have people that are driving taxi. All of them need a house. They don't have a pay stub. So they can't go down to MHC right now because they don't have a pay stub. The next PNP government, when we build those houses and you see it and like it, we are going to allow you to move into that house and pay rent for the first 6 months. Once you show us that you are disciplined and you are willing to pay the rent, we will convert the rent to mortgage and you move from renting to owning that house and our rent to own policy for the next government. This is part I read, you know. When I go to the meeting, I make sure I talk about what we plan to do. Because I don't want us to get carried away at the meeting and people come out and realize that I want bag of things we have planned in the next PNP government. I hear some people are running off them out, but we don't have no plans. It's not true. We have a whole heap of plans and things that you will be direct beneficiaries of. You know how many people in Jamaica that currently can't own a house, that once we put those policies in place, will suddenly be able to finally own a house and live in dignity. We have agriculture as a critical ministry. 262,000 Jamaicans are registered as farmers. This government put the Minister of Agriculture from St. Elizabeth. They put the State Minister of Agriculture from St. Elizabeth. And they did that because of all the food that is produced in Jamaica. St. Elizabeth produces a quarter of it. Meaning, if you produce 100 pounds, hold on with that. If you produce 100 pounds of anything, 25 out of the 100 come from St. Elizabeth. It is the best farming parish in the entire country. And they put the minister and the junior minister from St. Elizabeth, and agriculture still there on the back. How can it be that agriculture still on the back? They have done everything to ensure that the local farmers cannot make it in life. And what they have done is to give them friend and company permit to import food coming out of Jamaica that the local farmers can produce, not under the PNP government. We are going to ensure that we put our farmers to work to produce those items locally.
Time come, some are got charged for corruption. Oh yes. Why Bolo?
Some are got charged for corruption.
Time come, some are got charged for corruption. Oh yes.
Roger Clark, if they have come up several times since that. Roger Clark of blessed memory ensure that we got to 90% self-sufficiency in Irish, meaning that we produce 90%, 9 out of 10 of what we needed where Irish is concerned. There is no reason why Jamaica should be importing Irish and onion and them things when we can produce it locally right here. And so the next PNP government is going to ensure that when we reach in there, we support local agriculture so that we can become self-sufficient in the production of Irish and onions and some other crops. Money worth of food. No. When you look at how much money worth of food we import in Jamaica, no. When you look at how much money worth of food we import in Jamaica each year, that has moved from 800 million US dollars in 2016 when this government, Labour government, took over, and they have doubled it, moved it to 1.6 billion US dollars in the 10 years that they have been in office. Double it. We have said that we are going to take some of the taxes that we put on imported food. You know, tourism BOSI, them have tourism enhancement fund. Healthcare BOSI, them have national health fund. Technology BOSI, them have universal service fund that have put up Wi-Fi and everything. Time come now for farmer BOSI because we are going to put in place the agriculture development fund that will help our local farmers. What are some of the things that we want to do from the agricultural development fund? One, we are going to put some of the money on the PC bank so that farmers can get loan, get access to funding, so you can go there and produce and feed this nation. Two, we are going to ensure that we build out irrigation into the community so that you can have irrigation on your farm. Yes, we're going to continue the big projects. But if you are farming at 5 acre, 3 acre, we are going to help you to dig the pond and give you the pond liner and give you the irrigation system so you can irrigate your farm. We are going to ensure that we build out storage, and we're not going to ask you to move all the way over. So in every area that we have significant farming, we are going to put a 40-foot reefer solarized container so that you have access to storage. Time come now for farmers to be able to store their produce when they come in and not be losing when plucked upon the market. We are also going to buy heavy duty equipment so that we can come in and help you with land preparation. And we are going to ensure that we spend some time and money on research so that when you have disease affecting onion and disease affecting, and that quickly we can treat it so that you can get value for the hard work that you put in. So comrades, I'm going to wrap it up here because a long time ago there. But I say to you, we not just say we want going to power. We not come to a microphone and go talk about who bad mind who bad mind is. A fool argument then there. Because the first thing is that we could have never bad mind people who can explain how them get them things. In 2020, this Prime Minister.
That is funny, honey.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Something not right, my wisdom warriors. Something is not right. Tell about them.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Come to a microphone and go talk about who bad mind who bad mind is. A fool argument then there. Because the first thing is that we could have never bad mind people who can explain how them get them things. In 2020, this Prime Minister, 6 months before the election due, in the middle of COVID, and with COVID he could have gotten an extra 6 months. This Prime Minister went to Parliament in a suit with one green clocks, real puppy shoulder. Big suit and tie of green clocks, and he called the election in August of 2020, and we had the election on the 3rd of September. Now we are 2.5 months away from 5 years, and every day they get about a campaign about them already to call the election. They can run, but they can't hide. They must call the election, and when they call it in Northeast St. Elizabeth, they ever get a meeting. They must get a meeting. They have to get a meeting, because time come now for Comrade Jess to show them that she is the best and the person to represent this constituency. God bless you, and have a good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, how can you argue with a man like this? How can you argue with the logic? I'm sorry I wasn't covering this last night. Sunday night. This was fire. He addressed Darrell Voss epically. His statements about bad man is stupid. His statements about them not having plans is asinine. Man, the man just gave you so many plans that they have. It's ridiculous. If I'm a farmer in Jamaica, I am super excited. You know what's impressive? The practicality of the plans. That's what's impressive. We have all of these. Pat W, doing love. Salute to you, Velma. Big up everyone there on the live, right? We have all of these schools. Right? I have students that them parents can't find, food. Like it's hard. Where the minimum wage is $16,000. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what some people drink at the bar in the day, on a regular day. And I'm not exaggerating. By the time them go and them sit down and then buy two people drinks, and them carry them friend them, and them bust 2 round, depending on what they're drinking, $16,000 gone a belly and gone in a toilet. It's just the reality. It is just the reality. You cannot grow with that type of income. Alfie, how are you doing? Good night to you, City. You cannot grow. So look at the practicality of the plans that they have. Daryl Vaz, you're a liar. You came out on the platform and said that the PNP has no plans. You're a liar. Alright? You guys have been stealing the PNP plans. And they waited the perfect time when there was an official budget in the House of the Representative so that the world could see whose plans it was. Because you guys are really good at stealing ideas. Very good at stealing ideas. So, the man said, we need our farmers, them. We're going to work with our farmers. Farmers, listen. We're going to get the itinerary from the school, meaning the list of things that they would normally cook per week for the students that involves a nutritious meal. It's not just any meal, you know, a nutritious meal. One that they can actually have the energy after lunch to do their schoolwork and not have niggeritis because them eat sugar and them get slow down. The sugar actually does that to you, especially in the sun. Right? It's a fact. You start to get weary. Yes? So, to give them some iron, some vitamins, some protein in their diet. Boom. Farmers, we need this, and this in terms of crop. And you have farmers with the chicken, you're going to need the chicken them too. You have farmers with the pig, you're going to need the pig them too. Whatever the meal entails. Yes, these farmers are going to get what you know called a guaranteed income per month. It's really a weekly basis, but dealing with the government, you're probably going to get the money per month. So on every 2 weeks. So on a monthly basis, you are guaranteed income based off your produce that is needed. They do this in the hotels. Hotels have big contractors of farmers that like farm certain fruits and stuff like that specifically that they want for the hotel. Big contracts. Right? So the $9 billion that they're going to put into feeding the kids so them stay in school and get an education, not only is it helping the kids, but the families that are farmer families is going to get income now to grow their own families and to better their own situation. The same tax dollars that you pay is coming back to you. Not only that, we're talking about food security, which is very important. The farmers have a very important job to make sure that our children get not just nutritious meal, but the food is of the highest standard. And it's safe and it's clean and it's not going to poison them or not like that. You get what I'm saying? They must have good nutrition. So we can lessen the sicknesses of diet this and the diet that. Good, nutritious food. How can you say that the PNP don't have plans? I never heard the JLP with that plan, you know. Did you? Did you guys hear the JLP come up with that plan? To keep the money within the people of Jamaica, to make sure that they benefit. You cannot understate the importance of farming when farming employs so many people. Farming needs to become sexy again. The man, you need to see the farmer, them drive up in some big van. You hear me say? AC cool like wow. You wheel them might have dirty, but bro, you know much for that? Can roll over any terrain. Right? Farmer if you make so much money, then can branch off and start by equipment. Where they can rent out for construction. Because Jamaica need to build. There's so much expansion that can go from farming, it's ridiculous. Right? And the most exciting, Simone, how you doing, love? The most exciting part about the plans that the PNP has, the young people, the $1 billion coming from the 11 billion, 11.4 billion. $500,000 to pay down on your house of choice that you decided they want to buy. Because they recognize that the money up front is one of the reasons why most people don't have a house. They can't pay for the first payment, which is the biggest payment. So here's some help. Here's $500,000, not the $20,000 where them take from the revenue of future earnings to boast about that they give us a tax back. No, $500,000 to young people so they can actually pay down on their own home. So they can have them own family and have them independence. You the man saying tired to see youth I live with their mother. In tired to see people come out the place. And them don't have a good, them a rent house. And them a come a meeting, political meeting. Yo, big up Dr. Dayton Campbell. And the most exciting part for me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an entrepreneur. Alright? I don't have a limitation to how much money I can make. However, it is hard for me to prove to the people in the bank that, oh, I make this. There's no paperwork. There's no paperwork. There's no consistent flow of money. It can go up, it can go down, it can go sideways. Hey, you have to maneuver. You have to be skilled. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. But what they have said is, we know that there's a lot of you Jamaicans that are entrepreneurs. Them never say you comrades, you know. Them say we know that you, a lot of Jamaicans, ladies and gentlemen, are out there, right, that are entrepreneurs. And you do make a lot of money. Boy, you carrying some money, boy. Right? But there's no bank statements because you're hustling. You're in the streets. You're there everywhere. You do your thing. Right? You buy and sell. Hey, me soon go to that in a Simone. Simone, me have a touch upon that tonight. Just hold on a little bit now. Yeah, Simone, you jump your gun, you know. Hold on. Whoa, what a bangarang. Anyway, I'm going to touch on that, Simone. I'm going to add something too. Because somebody sent me an article that I have to present to you guys. Anyway, yes, so the rent to own initiative where you pay rent until you turn mortgage. Listen to me. I have never sat down, was in a corner, overheard anything that got me so excited. You hear what I said? When I heard them say that we have a rent to own initiative where you rent and you pay the mortgage after 6 months because you have shown consistently that they can pay, I was like, why them never send this man? Yo, Mark Bolo should be president or the prime minister like 20 years ago. No, not so long. No, I lie me at you. Mark Bolo should have been the prime minister of Jamaica after Portia's second term. Because Portia should have get a second term, you know? And then Portia could have give Marky G, and then we would have just usher in the Marky G era. Because I know that Portia love Mark Bolo. And she came in politics as far as me understand. So that would have been nothing. You heard what I said? Me say, Marky G should have been in power the last 10 years because my God Almighty, ladies and gentlemen, I probably would have owned 3 houses already. Or at least contributed to 2 others. Because I know my mother I forget one, my sister I forget one, and my brother I forget one, and me I forget one. And we always had the mentality of working together. But NHT was hijacked. We went to NHT, we did all of this and we did all of this, and we found out, man, this whole thing is jacked up. It's not like we thought it was. But no, here comes the architect of the NHT to restore the NHT to its rightful purpose. What is more liberating, ladies and gentlemen, than owning your own piece of land and property and house? It's a sense of pride and dignity that comes with that. And the People's National Party is here to restore that amongst all of us. All of us. Big up Dr. Dayton Campbell. and big up the People's National Party, and big up all well-thinking Jamaicans and everybody that has that type of intention, that patriotic intention to serve the people in such a way. We need good people in government. We need good people in governance. We need people that fear God in governance. We need people of principle, pride, integrity, honesty. People that have love, not only for themselves, but also for everyone else. People that are not selfish, come to grab. Come on, big up. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my thoughts. One Dr. Dayton Campbell. One Dr. Dayton Campbell. You hear that? One of this is an open mic, it's not muted. I'm gonna tell you that already. I think I'd have Daniel. No, sir. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we get an article. I want to see what I'm going with the leeching thing. One of the patriots of Jamaica sent me, I think I either head boy or class prefect. Right? The man will say Andrew Willis forget 3,000 years in a prison. Him and him cronies. That gentleman. The man sent me an article. And the man's words was this. The man said a clear and complete evidence of economic collapse. Now, I have not read the article. I browsed through the article. I'm going to be very frank about that. I browsed through the article. I also want to look at the article of The Guardian. NCBFG could split out of Leaching's control. Let me find that article as well. Because we need to examine it. We need to examine it. This is very serious. I have to document this. NCBFG could split from Leaching. You could put it that way. Alright. Trinidad Guardian. Here it is. Wonderful. So I have these two articles lined up. Let's read. Let's read, ladies and gentlemen. One after the other, we're going to read. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's a brother Bolo VNR. We're going to examine two articles. And this has to do with the finances of our country. And I'm not going to waste any time because, you see, a lot of people don't like to read and they don't like to hear people read either. I'm not the best reader, but, you know, I try. And let's get into this article because I think it's extremely important. And Simone said, I am afraid for Mark Bowling because I think he have some stitch around him. Listen, man, the snakes will always slither, you know. But once he's true to the Most High, he'll be alright. He'll be okay. Alright? If it's God's plan for Mark Bowling to be the Prime Minister of Jamaica, which I believe it's ordained, and I've gotten some subtle confirmations of that. You know, don't worry about it. Him covered. Him covered under the blood. You understand? Jamaica-born Michael Leaching's personal investment companies are still in deep discussions with bondholders, even as new disclosure revealed that the iconic chairman of NCB Financial Group, the North Caribbean island largest financial institution, could lose control of the company that he acquired a majority stake of in 2002. NCBFG, that is the National Commercial Bank Financial Group, I believe that's the acronym's name, which is gearing up to raise US 300 million, wow, on the international capital market this week released a preliminary offer memorandum last week outlining the various risks tied to upcoming transaction. Chief among them is 50.5% of the NCB's FG shares are currently pledged by Lee Chin, the group's founder, chairman, and controller stakeholder, for money that he raised from companies he controls. Let's read that again. Chief among them, 50.5% of NCB shares are currently pledged by Lee Chin, the group's founder, chairman, and controlling stakeholder, for money that he raised from companies he controls. 50% of him shares is pledged. Talks with bondholders have been ongoing since last year. With activity ramping up between March and June for several bonds. Specialty Coffee Investment Company Limited, one of Leach's entities, has been in discussion over a Jamaican 1.9 billion. Ooh. What? A Jamaican 1.9 billion or US 11.84 million bond. According to the Jamaica Gleaner, there have been no public updates in recent times, but bondholders have rejected some extension requests. Mighty God. AIC Barbados Limited, another Leachin affiliate, held a bondholder meeting on April 23rd to discuss 12 instruments with a combined face value of US 72.84 million. US 72.84 million US dollars. An AIC bond valued at 1.5 billion. That's Jamaican though. US 9.35 million. Secured 1 year extension last December. Oh, there's more. Yeah, there's more. Separately, AIC Barbados has been offloading shares on the Jamaica Stock Exchange over the last 2 years, with 53,993,194 shares sold between June 2023 and March 2025. That has raised over 3 billion Jamaican dollars. That's US 20.19 million between January and March. The company sold 10.31 million shares, raising Jamaican 509 million, US 3.18. And meanwhile, Portland Barbados Limited also has several bonds in play. A US 80 million bond came up for discussion on March 13th, followed by the US 7.5 million noted on May 27th. One of its bonds, valued at US 10.49 million, failed to get the required votes for an extension through to October 2027. Damn! More meetings are... No, that's embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
He needs some milk.
Wow, that's embarrassing. More meetings are scheduled for June 10th and 11th, which is tomorrow, and the next day. Oh, this is going to be interesting, to address other outstanding obligations. According to the June 4th offering memorandum, as of the date of this offering memorandum, certain of these bonds are delinquent with respects to principal and interest payments. Right? A plan has been submitted. A plan has been submitted. We're right here. For those who want to follow. I'm right at this yeah. a plan, right up here, so a plan has been submitted to the relevant bondholders for approval, seeking a deferral and restructuring of the affected payment obligations. What is a deferral? What is that? A deferral is a postponement of action or event. Okay. So it says here, they're seeking a deferral, a postponement, restructuring of the affected payment obligation. Approval of the plan by the bondholders remain pending. Given the delinquencies and considering the possibilities of future defaults, enforcement of the related security interests could result in our controlling shareholder and chairman losing control of the group without the consent of other shareholders or note holders. Damn!
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Something not right, my wisdom warriors. Something is not right. Tell about them.
Emotional damage.
How you doing, Sonia? Boy, Simon. This no normal. Joan Sinclair, how you doing? Patricia, what's up? Pick up yourself. Me now look on the chat, you know. Me I read. Anyway, so according to this, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman, now chairman Mr. Leachin, could lose control of the group without the consent of the other shareholders and note holders. People, this not safe. A NCB we are talking about, you know. A NCB we are talking about, you know. In the event, the enforcement of the pledge of shares result in agreement for any person or group to acquire beneficial ownership of 20% or more of our outstanding shares. Such agreement would be subject to central bank approval. A new substantial or controlling shareholder may also have different strategy priorities and operational approach that could adversely affect our business results of operation and financial conditions, the document stated. People, we have to read that again. This is a very important part of this article. This right here, sir, we may highlight in blue this whole paragraph. It says, in the event the enforcement of pledge of the shares result in an agreement for any person or group to acquire beneficial ownership of 20% or more of our outstanding shares, such agreement would be subject to central bank approval. A new substantial or controlling shareholder may also have different strategy, priorities, or operational approach that could adversely affect our business, results of operations, financial conditions. The document said, mighty God. Sharon, what's up, Sharon? How you doing, my love? It's good to see you, love. Like up the live, ladies and gentlemen, please. That's all I can ask. And remember, if you want to donate, the donation link is right there in front of you. You can donate to the Cash App, PayPal, and the Zelle is available. Anyway, moving on. Big up Nightbot. Nightbot is dropping everything in the chat. All the information they need. Portland, Barbados had a US $23 million bond registered in Trinidad and Tobago, which was set to mature in April 2024. The bond structured with a final bullet payment, right, was not repaid on its due date. Portland subsequently entered into negotiations with investors and the outstanding amount was cleared by September 2024. Investors initially assessed the US $4 million in cash collateral, followed by 3 additional payments by Portland, totaling $16 million US dollars. That bond carried an interest rate of 10.25%, inclusive of 2% default premium applied due to the missed maturity. Republic Bank Limited served as trustee for the instrument, which mostly offered to Trinidad and Tobago investors. NCBFG is listed on both the Jamaica Stock Exchange and the Trinidad Stock Exchange. A NCBFG source told Sunday Business Guardian that the NCBFG has over 1,600 shareholders on its TNT register. That does not mean they are all residents of Trinidad and Tobago, right? And that they are not Trinidad or that they are not Trinidad and Tobago residents who are on its registry in Jamaica. Interesting. NCBFG has a total of 47,698 shareholders. Damn. As at March 31st. NCB dividend of Jamaica 50 cents is to be paid tomorrow. What? Which will provide shareholders with a total of Jamaican $1.9 billion Jamaican dollars. Yo, I am so confused. What do you mean by dividend? No, I'm going to look up that word. Dividend. Yeah, dividend, that word there messed me up because it moved from 50 cents to... What do you mean by dividend? What's that? Dividend. Dividend means sum of money paid regularly, typically annually, by a company to its shareholders out of its profits or reserves. A number to be divided by another number. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. So the dividend of 50 cents is to be paid tomorrow. This article was when? This article is June 9th. So what you tell me say? What they really tell me say? Tomorrow as in the 10th, which will provide shareholders with a total of Jamaica $1.29 billion. AIC Barbados is set to receive 593.53 million Jamaican dollars. A company called NCB Global Holdings Limited, a subsidiary of NCBFG, owns 61.7% of Westmoreland Headquarters Guardian Holding Limited, GHL. A disclosure in GHL's 2024 annual report indicates Michael Leachin has a majority control position in NCB Global Holding Limited, which is the beneficial owner of 61.7% of the outstanding shares in GHL. Service agreement. The information memorandum also disclosed that the services agreement between NCBFG and AIC Global Holding Inc. is set to conclude at the end of July 2025. AIC Global, a company owned by Leachin, has been provided administrative and other supportive functions to NCB and its subsidiary under a contract with an annual base fee of US $4.8 million. The company received over $10 million in 2024 and further US $6.4 million between October 2024 and March 2025. All contractual partners due to the termination date has been already settled. As of the day of this offering memorandum, Mr. Lee remains the chairman of the board, with the terms of his modified engagement currently being negotiated, and which are expected to be consistent with the terms of engagement applied to his role vice vis. Those of other non-executive director of the board, the disclosure noted. Clarion Bank, the document also referred NCB agreement to sell 30.2% of its stake in Bermuda-based Clarion Group to Cornerstone Financial Holdings Limited on May 8, 2025. The long stop date of the sale and purchase agreement expired, and the parties elected not to extend the agreement. NCBFG acquired its original 50.1% stake in Clarion in December 2027. The NCB acquisition coincided with Portland's Private Equity Limited, which is controlled by Leachin, acquiring a 17.92% stake in Clarion for US $10 million. According to a June 14, 2024 article in the Jamaica Observer, so according to the memorandum, I think this is the end, right? Woo! According to the memorandum, following the expiration of sale and purchase agreement in June 2025, NCBFG was advised that the previously agreed exit provision for a minority shareholder group in CGL private equity funds, in which Honorable Michael A. Leachin, OG, and Robert Almeida, the chairman and group CEO of NCBFG, respectively, each holds an interest, will be triggered by the minority shareholder group, pursuant to which NCBFG will acquire an additional 17.9% stake in Clarion Group from the minority shareholder group at the fair market value of CGL shares, as will be determined by an expert or another mutually agreed method in accordance with the applicable stakeholders agreement. The offering memorandum states that as of the date of the offering memorandum, and based on the recently expired transaction, we estimate the fair value of which the minority stake in Clarion Group will acquire to be approximately US $20 million. What? Hold up. Wait. The offering memorandum states that as of the date of the offering memorandum, and based on the recently expired transaction, they estimate the fair value of the minority stake in the Clarion Group will require an approximately US $20 million. Wagwan, Sonia. Sonia M. Big up yourself. I will Sharon say. Sharon says Sagicor fi sue them if them refuse to pay. Me not get involved in them business. Alright. Them have something a big people. You them money and them figure ya. Huh? Mighty God. Anyway, moving on to the cleaner. That I'm Mr. Leachin. People, Jamaica to offload holdings worth $6 billion. This was yesterday. Jamaica Group Limited will be divesting a mix of listed equities and funds worth $6 billion. Vice Chairman and CEO Jeffrey Hall has said it is to remove assets that we don't want to have control over in terms of the timing of cash flows. Hall said Thursday at the company's annual general meeting held at the ROK Hotel. which is owned by PanJam. The group currently holds 37.6 billion in capital. Ooh. Down slightly from a 38.5 billion. Okay. I see what happened. Recorded a year earlier, so them lose money. Its average return on capital was 6% in 2024, compared to a 4.2% in 2023. Returns fell into single-digit range at less than 8% at the onset of the pandemic in 2020. Okay. Prior to that, turning points returns were at 21.7%. So, ladies and gentlemen, prior to 2020, they had returns of 21.7%. Right? In 2023, it was 4.2%. 3 years prior to 2020. Pandemic do a lot of damage, eh? And then in 2024, it was 6%. Mighty God. The company intends to redeploy capital into ventures with more consistent earnings to improve returns. Hall noted that the Jamaican producer group, which merged its operating assets with PanJam in 2023, historically recorded an average return on capital of 15%. Oh, that's the no. Last year, PanJam exited the Downing Street Realty Fund X. Well, that looks like 9. X1 looks like 9. A Canadian based fund for 553 million, from which it raised a gain of 350 million. Additionally, the group disposed of land in Norbrook, St. Andrew, citing its incompatibility with core operations. Roslyn, how you doing? Good to see you, love. The land in question was in Norbrook and therefore zoned as residential, making it outside of our focus, Hall explained, referring the group's property segment with priorities retail stores, business hotels, commercial real estate. While the group invests in warehousing within its logistics operations, it generally avoids residential deployment. Jamaica operates across 4 main segments: property, logistics, food, and finance. Within its property division, Hall noted that a Montego Bay property remained under active consideration for development. He declined to give details. The intention is to develop the land within our strategic objectives. As said before, it could be retail, business hotels, and cooperative offices, said Hall. For the March 1st quarter, Jamaica report a net profit of 2.1 billion, reflecting an 81% year-on-year increase. Its cash holdings improved 11% to 15.7 billion. Amen. In March, now what do you want? They reported a net of 2.1 billion. Cash holding improved 11%. So, what do you think about these people? What do you think? So this is a one good sign. Offloading $6 billion worth assets. Between NCB and this, what do you think? Some look shakiness there to me still now. Right? Just using my noggin. Your birthday, my Robinson. You one there for your family, okay? Oh yeah, I try so hard. I don't know, man. I want to hear from the experts. The experts in financing. I would love to hear from you guys in regards to these particular articles. Right? But I wanted to share that with y'all. So leeching, why? The way all this look, look good, but then, hey, get the right people to advocate for you, who knows? But NCB really looks like it's in a pickle. It does. It really does. What does that mean for the people that have an account there? Yeah, I'm definitely not qualified to even speak, but at some point in your life, you have to use your gut feeling. God gave us, all of us, that connection. Yeah, even when you're sleeping, yeah, you'll get nudged. All right, so you know what y'all think about that, man? You know what y'all think? I want to say a big shout out to the people that came on Bolo BVR clips. Big up on yourself. Remember to hit the like button going through the door as we wrap up. Alright? All 30 plus of you over there. For the people that is left over here on Bolo BVR 2.0, the same rule applies. Remember to hit the like button going through the door. And isn't it a beautiful thing, guys? A beautiful thing that the PNP has won yet another legal battle and has been on the right side of history where our laws is concerned. I can't say the same for the Jamaica Labour Party, but there's more open and fresh disgrace to come, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, it's coming. You guys have a blessed one. Yeah, it's prime time right now. It's a bowl of NCB trouble in all of that. Hold on there. One thing. May I try that personally again. Personally, I was very adamant so they want to talk to me, Now me I call them, you see it? I want to see how life go do. Hear me, people? This person called me now and I was very adamant, And him asked me when at the best time and say, you know when I go live again. But look how me I call a perfect time if you talk to me because I don't know what this is. I'm traveling blind right now. This could be breaking news. General, me live right now,
Where are you, King Bolo?
There, man. People in my ear, I'm live right now.
Oh, cool, daddy.
Yeah.
Man, I go on the page, man, and go and take it in, cause me know say you're a real revolutionist, cause me love your style, daddy.
Hold on there. You never call me and tell me say I want story to tell or a reason or whatever. You be call me and tell me that. Are you never you call me?
Yeah, me did call, but in related to the story, me no remember pointing out that side because say enough call you get and so say enough ones we say a thing and remember specific call which one, but yeah, but you don't know a positive energy we are dealing around, say
Yeah, my general. Alright, let's say a word.
Alright, yeah, so me are going to line alive, you hear that?
Yeah, I try to get to in person, respect.
I'm daddy. Up.
I gotta get to this person, man. Somebody texted me early this morning, bro. I'm talking about early this morning. I said, what? When I saw the text, I said, whoa, what's going on here? Let me see if I can find the person. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me, my people. Bear with me. What my boy name?
God know this have to come.
Then double rich, then triple rich, all of them a millionaire teacher. That's why yesterday have too much big talk. That's why yesterday I shoot them one another, so I shoot them one another. So I go for the Portmore people, them and I demand them to change up boundary for their state of power. But it not gonna work. It can't work. There is no way Portmore can be a parish and it don't have nothing at all. And the people that don't even stand. Let me tell you something. This can't work, government. Andrew, you have to take this. When I say you have to take back this, you have to take back this. And you can't call an election because you call you're done. So when and when you don't call you're done. If you call you're done and if you don't call you're done, so what you gonna do? You're there in Amigo. Take for yourself. You feel you know, pack your bag and go, resign. Take for yourself your peaceful life. Go on do what you have, because we still are gonna lock you up and you can't escape. No way you can't escape. Thief! Me say, as you go on the internet and type in, and you name a thief come. And the second thing will come up, oh God, Bandulu. What me say? Bandulu lie come up in a teacher screening and me say I find you name. Boom! Thief! I lie come up. So Andrew is a thief and him is a liar and him is a big nothing but a dirty criminal. Andrew we tired that you left the country and not fear. Your mama never will out to you and your father never, your two father never will out nothing to you. Right now I'm thinking they're rich and they never work for them, but never rotten millionaire. You understand? So what go on? And Jamaica people are broke. Eh? Teacher, this cannot work. Thief, criminal. FBI to come for them now. Wait, Mr. Bull, call them. FBI, please, you know, come. The matter get worse. The matter get dread. FBI, you know, come down in Jamaica, come look what go on. The situation not right. It's not pretty at all. Bad things are going on here. Dread things are going on here. Judgment on the people that want help. FBI, come help with. FBI, please. We are begging over the last hour with the brink. FBI, come. FBI, come. No, wait. It get dread. And you take for yourself. You're a thief. Wicked and lie. We're afraid of you. We can't eat, we can't drink, we are suffer down here. FBI, boy, call them. Help me call them, boy, carry them in our country. Carry a big liar for and give him money and make him travel case for you. Because they have the money and set a thief. SSL lock them. SSL nothing get to nobody and nothing work none at all. Because I write the evidence there and the laptop then dodge off and thief. So boy, forget the money and the poor people then forget back the money. Them is thief. Judgment! FBI come, take them quick and fast. What me say, call them, carry them, come. Teacher, guess up yourself.
Start me hear the audio then. Me say me have to record this. Me actually hear it live. Me say, no sir. Where brother Leroy Brother Leroy, best man. Brother Leroy, the normal. And people, the views and opinions of the audios that I play are not necessarily that of my own. Yes, this is the people speaking. Alright, I will not be held liable for their thoughts. My thoughts is my thoughts. Their thoughts is their thoughts. You heard? Anyway, I try to find this first man. But unfortunately, you know. See nobody around on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. First said they want me to interview them. And I'm like, interview? What? And I never got to, like reach out and like, so what's this about type of vibe? And I really don't have a problem with a hands-on, a hands-on situation where they can just call or whatever. If they're open to that, of course, I don't have a problem. So, I'm here still trying to find Find the person. Sure, man. Anyway. I'm gonna just move on. It a go bitter when the right time come. Yeah, some a go charge for corruption. Oh yes. Oh, I saw this a place at the lively. Man, the PNP rally then dangerous, man. Koya people. Don't we never see all of this. Oh. Okay. Nah, can't work with the music, but one hot topic. Big up hot topic, you know. No, but seriously. No, man, the PNP, they're festive, man. PNP, they're festive, bad. Festive. Big old space, this, you know. Man, them set up them camera and thing already.
All the comrades on the outside, could you please?
If I one thing me know about Jamaican people, why I only love outside. Anytime one event I keep everybody prowl off out the door. Them not like, them not like organization, bro. You have to tell them.
The man who, when them come last February, already been established. So let me just say, comrades at the head table, comrades of the great Grace River Division, comrades good night. Comrades good night. Good night, comrades. If you're ready, let me hear you say PNP. If you're ready, let me hear you say PNP.
I don't talk about that. Big up Mr. Alfred Dawes now. I want to keep Mr. Alfred Dawes now in prayers now. As a matter of fact, just pray for you like PNP, yeah, man. All of them life in a danger. Big up Isaac Buchanan. You know, say Andre said more thing like in broadcasting. You know, Isaac had a portion of thing. Isaac Buchanan had a portion of thing, you know. Isaac busy, you know. Yeah, man, Isaac busy, man. Your TV, if you're in the background, big up yourself, you know. Yeah, man, big up yourself, your TV. Saturday, if you're in the bushes, big up yourself. You understand? Oh, see person here. See the person here. Find the smarty to blow. About 100 voice note they send me. I don't even listen one all now. Let me see if them available. See the smarty how me I look for, man. Sure. Yeah. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? I'm live right now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you said that you wanted me to interview you?
To some degree, yes.
Okay. You is that a yes? Really?
Yes.
Yes. Alright. So
my story is so big.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me just start the recording. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know the individual that I'm speaking to. This is very spontaneous. And so, full disclaimer, she's telling her story and I'm listening. You say your story is big.
It's huge.
It's huge?
Because it has many compartments to it. It has the banks, the company's registry office.
Oh my God.
In Jamaica.
Alright, so listen.
National Land Agency.
What I'm going to do is I am going to mute my mic and allow you to speak. So don't worry about me not speaking. Just tell your story, alright?
Alright.
Alright, go
Sounds
ahead.
Good.
You have the floor. Go ahead.
Okay. So I left Jamaica when I was about 18 and a half years old to attend college. I came from a family that had real estate that was passed down from one generation to the next. And I primarily came to help my dad in 2014 because he was elderly and alone. And my experience includes members of the Jamaica Labour Party and the Freemason Society in Jamaica. From the minute I got to Jamaica, I was being watched because apparently they had designs on my father's estate. The Jamaica Labour Party and the Jamaica Freemasons. They pretty much were gang stalking me and trying to engineer aspects of my life because they assumed I'd be the one who would inherit my father's assets. And they had a problem with that because apparently like a whole bunch of them had designs on taking my father's assets for themselves. So what they did though was to along with family members who were very jealous of this whole situation between my father and I helped him in his company. His company delivered water to schools, prisons, hospitals in Jamaica. That would be potable water from the National Water Commission. And the National Water Commission was taking money off the top of my father's invoices. And I became involved in his business to the point where he appointed me also as a director of his company, much to their dismay. And so they attempted to take over my father's company because we ended up suing the National Water Commission for those invoices. They had stolen $31 million from us. And they threatened my dad, and he was saying that when we discussed company business at night, he was saying that we should drop the lawsuit against NWC. And I told him no, because what are we supposed to do? Give away $31 million of profit that the company made? On top of that, the tax administration wanted to charge us $2 million in taxes. And we told them we're not paying them until they pay up what they owe to our company. So that became stymied. My father had property in St. Anne's Bay. The St. Anne Parish Council, along with someone who bought a lot, tried to work with an attorney to bring litigation against my father because they said he was supposed to sell them plus or minus a quarter acre, and the lot line was not accurate. And they tried to put the wool over my dad's eyes, not knowing my dad had the original maps for the land in St. Anne's Bay.
1 second.
And even my father's attorney tried to collude with them for this litigation to proceed. However, I intervened because, as you know, my father and I, we worked in tandem, we worked together. And I let them know that if they disturb the lot line, we'll bulldoze whatever fencing they would put up. And that squashed all of the talk about this false litigation they intended to bring against my father and I. So they could tie up our money, like $350 per hour, to pay these attorneys. And squashed all of that because we have more important things to do. Anyhow, they eventually, I guess my brother, he was part of this Freemasonry and the JLP. And I don't know if he realized the things he was telling me when he tried to come in and take over, such as the fact that he spoke to Andrew Holness,
Oh my God.
who agreed with the actions that he was taking.
What? What is it?
Yes.
Hold on,
Yes.
hold on. Just back
And-
up
and
a bit.
wait.
Back up a bit.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat asked, "What is Freemason?" Explain that to me.
Lodgeman.
The lodge.
Is that a better?
Like what
The free-
Everald Warmington talk about.
The Freemason Lodge, correct.
Okay.
Located on, I believe, is it Barbados Avenue in New Kingston?
I don't know where
That's
none
the
of those
Kingston
things are located.
office.
Okay.
Yes.
Continue,
yes.
ma'am. I'm sorry
Lodge,
to have
the Lodge people.
Yes.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't remember where I left off now.
Oh,
'cause
your
this story
brother,
is pretty bad.
your brother came
Yes.
in
So
and what he was saying
they also knew that the mayor
to you.
for
And
Kingston.
you were saying something about Angeles knowing something about your
Yes, and was
brother.
agreeing with my brother, telling him he's doing a good job. First in separating my father and I so he could take over. Yes, my brother. And Juliet Holness
Oh, my
and
God.
Lee Chin. So
What?
when we were doing the litigation against NWC, suddenly we heard through the grapevine that Lee Chin had some private interest in NWC. So the law firm I had used to file litigation, they insisted that we needed to produce our banking information. But more than that, they wanted for us to divert our banking to them, to their accounts, whatever invoices, etc., and payment. I told them no. What kind of foolishness is that? Then they said we needed an accountant to corroborate the missing $31 million. So the accountant they put us on to, apparently he told Holness and Juliet about the lucrativeness of my father's business. And he did an audit on all of the banking information I gave to him instead of just the banking with NWC. So they wanted my father's company now. They wanted to take over the type of business my father ran and how it operates. That was their greatest interest. Anyhow, eventually we did win the lawsuit. They settled and they paid back the money, but they paid it back in increments. The only thing is that money came into my JLP Freemason brother's hands, not my father's nor my hand, because my brother, his name is the first and last name of my dad, but not the same middle name. And he was going around saying he was my dad. This is how all this thievery took place of my father and I in Jamaica, is because the JLP people in position at the tax office, even the insurance company, they were involved. It's like they were, for example, I would pay them 12 months of insurance on one of my father's trucking vehicles, and they would only insure us for 6 months. And then suddenly the police would be stopping us after that 6 months ends and charge us for being uninsured. That type of scam was going on with the insurance company. So another thing was FCIB. When my father was adding me to his bank accounts, they insisted that I check off on the forms that I had to complete. Anyone can sign on my father's bank account, although the option was just him or me. And the teller there, or whatever, bank representative, extremely rude and out of order. I had to comply. So they already premeditated robbing my father's bank accounts. Now, when I first went to Jamaica, my father told me he does not trust these banking people and their staff.
So, for clarity, you don't live in Jamaica?
I had to leave Jamaica.
Mighty God.
I had to leave Jamaica in January of 2022.
Mighty God.
Because I was threatened. Also, the police were involved, the Constant Spring police station. I can name a lot of names, you know. And some younger women were involved, who presented themselves as a romantic interest to my father. That's a form of prostitution that the lodge does. You know, it's very a very big story. I don't think I could tell you everything today or in this hour.
Yes.
But I have the first-hand knowledge that everything you and the other bloggers are talking about in reference to the Jamaica Labour Party, Andrew Holness, Lee Chin, all of that is true. And how these banks run in Jamaica, where they bully people and they think everybody's the same, you know, digging a yam, and you're supposed to do what they say. And if you have an issue with anything they're doing that is robbing your bank account and you bring it to their attention, well, you need to deal with it yourself, because they absolutely have no clue. Another thing was when I would make deposits from collecting on invoices, they would be asking me if I took any money or if I deposited money for a particular purpose. They would be asking me, what is it for? And where did it come from? Knowing my father banked with them for over 20, 30 years.
My God.
Yes. So one of the ways they robbed us, though, it was, I didn't know that I needed to present paperwork to them that my father elevated me from the position of company secretary to a director, which would be on the same level as he is. And I didn't show them that paperwork. So they, towards the end where they were separating, it's a whole group of people that expected to get a payout. Another thing I wanted to let you know, Mr. Bolo, is these things don't just happen to poorer Jamaicans. They happen to Jamaicans who have some amount of wealth that they want to acquire for one reason or another. Now, my father was a very dark-skinned Indian man. He passed away in 2023. The circumstances under which he passed away are very, very strange.
Wow.
For example, he died. No one took him to the hospital. They claim he died. Who knows? He could have been in a diabetic coma. This is in his own house that he built with his two hands. My father was very hardworking. Anyhow, 3 hours later, the same police, Constant Spring police, came to pronounce his death. You understand? There's some
yeah, I'm listening.
shadiness in that. There's some shadiness in that. Mr. Bolo, my father, who is a man of some wealth, no one could take him to the hospital. The hospital staff couldn't declare him or pronounce his death.
Wow.
And it wasn't the first time. They're into a lot of poisoning. These JLP people, they're into a lot of poisoning of people. I heard about a lady, I believe, who died as well. Is it Silvera?
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not even familiar with that story. I just heard about it.
And this woman, Dalrymple, that's part of her way of gaining wealth too, is to try to disenfranchise the children of people whose properties or estates she wants to take over. And that's how I first heard of her. An article was ran about her in the Jamaica Gleaner. I think in maybe 2018 or 2019. And it stood out about the Clark estate and her dirty dealings with trying to dispossess the Clark estate holders' children of the inheritance that they were supposed to receive. Yes. So I also was around, for example, Bruce Golding's daughter. Because I went to this little place where I used to wait until the traffic would run off before I would drive home. So I met up, I met all these people. Pretty much I did not gravitate towards them. I don't know if they came around me because I was sitting in a place that they're accustomed to sitting in. I'm not sure. But there I also met Michael Lee Chin's nephews, Wayne Chen's sons. And they ran, oh my gosh, I don't remember the name of that bank. Oh my goodness. But my dad had accounts at NCB, FCIB, and he didn't really want to be at FCIB, but because he had Parkinson's, he wasn't able to walk up into the bank to cash his checks or anything. He would, it was easier for him to drive up to the teller, and it was one of the few banks that had a drive-up teller. The one in Halfway Tree, that branch.
Okay.
And very rude to me. My dad didn't trust them at all, and he would ask me, because we needed a daily amount of cash when we're doing business.
Right.
For gas and also other things, because my father owned a 50-year-old trucking company. And that's how he financed our educations abroad and sustained his family. And of course, take care of his workers and their families. So he had bank accounts at JMMB. Suddenly I heard that the bank account he had for almost 15 years, when I went to inquire about it, because he had that designated for his funeral. He wanted his body flown to Miami to be buried beside his mom.
Okay.
They cremated my father. That bank account, I was told by JMMB that it was transferred to someone else. The contents of it.
Somebody in the chat is asking me if this story is for real. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot verify anything that she's saying. She's telling her story. All right, so
It is for real.
We're just listening. So go ahead, ma'am.
It is for real. Whoever is asking, I can't make up these things. This is not something people just make up. They did a lot of this JLP government. And I will tell you, my father was a staunch JLP. And the things that they did to my father is unconscionable.
Wow.
For someone who supported them, my father died when he was 80 years old. And for someone who supported them from God knows when, for them to turn around and do this to him, disgusting. There's nothing in me that is JLP supportive after I saw what they did to my father. They were thick also with the mayor of Kingston, Williams, Delroy Williams.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Ooh. Lord of mercy.
Yes.
I listening to you, man. This is a lot. Wow.
And there's a lot of involvement with drug trafficking.
Oh my God. No,
and gun trafficking. And then they want to say, my father, who runs a little water company that's been lucrative and for decades, want to say he was part of that and he was a Freemason or a lodgeman. No way. Even if when I was 13 years old, Mr. Bolo, we got dressed in the morning to go to Queens High School, which is where we attended, me and my sisters. And my father got a phone call.
Oh, sisters. You have a lot of sisters.
2 sisters. And 1 brother. So, my father got a phone call. That was when it was a rotary dial phone with a long twirly cord. No cell phones existed then. It was coming along in the time of having beepers. So the person on the other line told him they were going to kill him if he did not join the syndicate.
What?
Yes. It threatened my father. So I think even if my father became one of them, it wasn't by choice. I don't think he did, because I never saw any of him wearing their ring or him associating with them. I think it was more like he was running away from them, because I got to realize that you can't really have, if once you have a lucrative business in Jamaica, they are targeting you because they want some of that money, you know, and they do extortion, money laundering, all kinds of things. So my father was very afraid to pass away alone, because all of us were in the United States. But I went through a difficult divorce, so he asked me if I could stay with him and help him with his business. And that is what I did. But instead, they, you know, just like they did to that doctor, the two doctors, Dr. Dawes and the other doctor recently, where they destroy the reputation and character, telling people, slandering me that I came to Jamaica to kill my father and take his wealth.
What?
Yes.
Yo,
when they're the ones who pretty much everything Andrew Holness says and does, which is he does things and then says it's somebody else who did it to him. That's pretty much what they did to me. So what we're seeing going on in Jamaica, I went through on an individual level. Now it's happening on a larger scale.
Listen.
To gaslight the Jamaican people.
Have you ever reached out to Will Rattigan or Mr.
Yes, I have. I have received no response.
Oh,
I've written an affidavit. And they blocked me in the court as well.
Wait,
what? I even tried to submit to the other court, the Caribbean court, and they blocked me there as well.
What was in the affidavit?
It was telling you pretty much with a bit more detail my experience and what my father went through, what my father and I went through.
Oh my God.
I sent the affidavit to Mr. Rattigan. He has not responded. I sent the affidavit to the United Grand Lodge of England. So one of the things they do, just like they did to Dr. Dawes and the other doctor recently, is try to say we're insane. Because the contortedness of what they've done to us and trying to convince the public something is wrong with us, and we're making this up because their reputations are stellar, trying to attack us on a mental health level, which we have, you know, those are two doctors. They're going to know how to circumvent that. So will I, because I am part of the mental health care community. So I understand all of this type of trauma, and the trauma is meant to break you down, you know. But we know how to circumvent that because of our training. And I'm not calling myself a doctor like the other two men, Dr. Dawes and the other doctor, but I'm just saying we know how to circumvent these things from them having a serious impact on our mental health. But this is how they behave. There is an agenda that they've practiced for decades in the lodge. It's all about organized crime. Because about a few months after I was going through all of this, I recognized that it was organized crime because it was done in such a way that it almost was seamless. But I saw, you know, a few of the cracks in there, what they did. One of the big cracks was my brother telling me these things without realizing what he was saying, or he was saying it believing that I would be dead soon, or, I wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to talk about this, or that I would have fallen into mental illness.
So two questions. Is your brother still alive? And he's still involved with the JLB?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
But he destroyed my father's company, sold everything that my father built and worked for, except for my father's land in St. Anne's Bay, which is, I got to understand, is in the process of being sold.
Somebody just asked me if you tried to reach out to Partner TV, Andre Stevens.
No, I haven't.
Do you have his contact number?
If it's the one that's on on his program, I could use it there. But would you text it to me?
I'll try.
On WhatsApp?
I definitely will.
I appreciate
this is a lot, because this is way over my pay grade.
I have the first-hand experience, Mr. Bolo. I have the first-hand experience that everything they're doing, the way they behave, these JLP people, is not fantasy, it's fact. The gaslighting of the Jamaican people, the robbery and the theft. Now, a lot of what took place against my father and I took place in 2021. Isn't that odd? It's around the time Andrew, with his 21 bank accounts, and SSL became, a big loss. And what's his name? Lee Chin was liquidating his assets and fleeing. Isn't that odd? Anyhow, I'm hoping that I answered your question.
Yeah. About to send you the number right now. Okay.
All right.
This is
I don't know how Mr. Stevens would be able to help me, but I did try my best. I even tried to employ around 12 attorneys in Jamaica in 2021, and none of them took my case because they all belong to the lodge.
Ooh. Listen, I'm gonna send you the dude's number right now.
I appreciate that, Mr. Bolo.
Wildest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry. It's sent. It's sent.
Okay.
All right.
I thank you for helping me to express myself in this manner to your listeners, because I would like the Jamaican people to know that even if they're not, I think we're all up against something like this with this government in different ways and on different levels. And this is why I wanted the Jamaican people to know that what they're going through is real. And no one should be able to talk them out of thinking that what they're going through is not real, which is what Andrew Holness likes to do. So,
all right.
I thank you for your time.
You're most welcome.
Your listeners' time. Okay.
Right.
Take care.
All right.
Okay, doke. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good one. Woo! I gotta put out another disclaimer. Turn that down a minute. Yeah, I gotta put out another disclaimer. Again, I don't even know who that is. That person reached out to me today, and the exact words were, Mr. Bo. She called me Mr. Bolo. She tried calling me 6:30 p.m. Is that today? Yeah, 6:30 p.m. today. Yes. And Mr. Bolo, I'm asking you to possibly interview me on your show. And I said, okay, about no, that was yesterday at 6:30, because I sent her I didn't even know it was a her, but I sent her the live stream when I was doing the Gabby show yesterday. Then today I sent her another one that's another link. And everybody that reached out to me in regards to YouTube, I use it as promotion to send them the links when I can to let them know that I'm live. Listen to me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 6 unplayed voice notes on my phone right now, and I'm not even going to open them because she just said a lot. And I don't know. I'm not disrespecting the lady. I'm just letting it be known. I don't know about nothing. Alright? I'm not co-signing nothing. You heard me? All of this is allegedly. See the sign right there? This is all alleged. Alright? Let it be known. Let it be understood. This is way too deep. I saw Patricia in there saying, what she say? Patricia was wilding. Patricia said, lady, be careful. Go on your bed. Oh my God. Yo, Patricia, you gotta chill. People, let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section, man. Woo! Woo! Man, look at Eleanor. Eleanor said me nervous. Yo, Robert Brown, salute to you, man. Sassy D was like, is this story real? I let it be known. I don't know nothing. You hear me? I don't know nothing. The lady wanted her voice to be heard. I'm going to post the video. The wildest allegations against the JLP ever. This is the wildest allegation against this JLP ever. That's what I'm going to put it as the title. Wildest, craziest allegations against the JLP ever. Let me know what you think. And if you got a story, come tell your story. Alright? Tell your story. Oh my God. Man, listen. We need to go to Bolo. When is the next Bolo? Huh? When is the next Bolo? This week? Listen, man. Ball out of fasting all week. Alright? Yo, we gotta participate, bro. Because if an ounce of what this lady is saying is true, oh, we in bigger trouble than we could ever imagine. You understand what I'm saying? We are in bigger trouble than we could ever imagine. What? Yo, I gotta listen to that again on my own time, just to process, because I'm still in shock right now. I'm like, wait, what? This was like listening to the doctor that came on Andre Stevens' show, the brother, when he was talking. You was just like numb, like I couldn't talk. I was just listening. I could not talk. When I was listening to that dude, I said, in my mind, I said, oh my God. What is going on here? What is this? What is this? So, man, you listen, you know, whew. You know, everything happens for a reason. I was going to end the live. Real talk. And something reminded me of this person that reached out to me. And I don't usually remember, you know, things, but something let me remember that. You know how much people reach out to me on a daily? But that's all I'm going to say. Hey, man, see y'all later. I'm about to go check out some videos that's live right now. PanJam TV still going on. I gotta check out Talking Mind TV. and also Mr. Lonesome. And I think I saw some videos from ABR News TV. So, big up on yourself, look for more. That is it.